Good morning, students. Welcome all of you to today's accountancy class. Today also we will continue the first chapter, that is Introduction to Accounting, and we were discussing basic terms in accounting. So today also we will discuss some other basic terms in accounting. So one more class is required to complete this chapter actually. So after that only these basic terms will finish. So you don't worry about the chapter number and all. It is different in APC, it is different in NCERT book. Okay, so in which order I am giving you the content, in that order you write. So this will come under first chapter only, Introduction to Accounting. That is the first chapter we are discussing. Okay, so just we will discuss some terms today. This one, seven terms we discussed in the previous class. So today is number 8 we'll discuss, that is receipts. Okay, so what do you mean by receipts? Receive, the word receive means something we are getting. Okay, so in business also this term is very important, receipts. So receipts are of two types, capital receipts and revenue receipts. Okay, so what do you mean by capital receipt, revenue receipts? We will discuss. So always when you read these things, you remember we have not yet studied anything. So actually we have to read this also, and if you read this or understand this, you will not understand anything also. That is the situation happens sometimes, because we have not yet started but actually the accounting process and all. Okay, so that's why you may get some doubts in between, that you can clarify with me. But when we start the problem part and when we study these chapters, that time only you will come to know what we studied in these first chapters, actually what it is. Okay, so just in the possible way I will explain you, because actually this is very difficult to teach a new person, because you don't have any connection with these topics. Suddenly you are studying this, but later on you will understand everything properly. Okay, so before that, but when you go there you should know also what the terms they are using there. That's why just we'll discuss now. So in a simple way we'll understand it now. Okay, the high level of thinking and all that we will do afterwards. So capital receipts, two types of receipts. So receipts means anything business receive. Okay, so suppose I'm a business, I'm doing a business, I'm selling goods. What I receive? Cash I receive. Okay, so if I'm doing any service for somebody, I'll get fees, or what, cash I receive. Or commission receive, or somebody give me rent for my building, rent I am receiving. So these are the receipts. So whatever receive in the business, that is called receipts. So it is classified into two, capital receipts and revenue receipts. So why it is classified, so we will see. Capital receipts are part of balance sheet. So capital receipts means any amount you received from capital items. Capital items means, I told you assets are there. Under assets, some assets we use in the business, some assets are for converting into cash. So we studied two types of assets, non current assets, current assets. Okay, you can remember the previous class. So non current assets means assets which are purchased for use in the business. Suppose you are going to start a business. First you purchase a land is asset, building is asset. You constructed a building, so for that you are spending money, that is asset. Okay, then you are purchasing big machines, plants. Here plants means not the living plants. This is what plant and equipments. In big factories you can see plants. Then machines, other equipments, items, everything we can consider as what, assets, means non current assets. So when you invest in these items, means you are spending your money to purchase all these items, then actually you are spending your capital. Okay, understand clearly. Means capital is what? Is the amount from your own pocket. You are spending it and acquiring it or purchasing it, or you are getting it. Okay, so these are capital items. So revenue items means what you spend on current assets. Current assets means, we discussed that in the previous class. Current assets are not for use in the business, those are for converting into cash. Example, stock is current asset. So whatever stock, I told you textile business example or any example you can take. So textile business means clothes what we purchased is stock. Now that stock will sell to others, the customers, then that stock is converted into sales. So sales, and then it become cash. The customer is ready to pay you money now itself, then it is converted into cash. If you are paying afterwards, then debtors. Then afterwards only that customer become debtors, then afterwards it become cash. Okay, suppose when you are doing online purchase, first what we'll do, we select item and payment mode. Cash on delivery is there, so cash on delivery option if you are taking, so first for them what, they sold goods, they write, but sold goods, but money is not received on that moment of sales. Afterwards only they receive the money. Okay, so sale, then what is happening there, debtors. Then when they receive money, when the delivery boy come to your home and he gets money, and when that information goes to that account, or if Amazon or Flipkart, that time only actually they are receiving the cash. So then cash is realized. Okay, so the main purpose of doing business is what, to convert the stock into cash. So those assets are known as what, current assets. So current assets we can say revenue items. Means current assets we kept in the business for making revenue or income in the business. Okay, so that is the difference. So what I am, why I am telling this, capital receipts, all capital receipts are related to non current items. Okay, so what I told you, non current assets like land, building, furniture, machines, everything you can take it as what, capital items. So what is capital receipts? From these capital items, if you receive anything, money, then it is known as what, capital receipts. Okay, suppose example, amount received from the sale of assets or investment. One machine, now it's become old and you want to sell that machine in the market. So when you sell that machine, you are getting some amounts, that is called what, capital receipt. That we cannot take it as a business income. Understood? So we will, that also receipt, but somehow somewhere we have to include that amount. So that's why it is known as what, capital receipts. I'm selling that machine for rupees 5 lakh, and I'm getting that 5 lakh, and that 5 lakhs rupees coming into the business. So it is known as what, capital receipts. Understood? So remember, asset, non current asset. Now from non current asset what is coming, capital receipts. Then capital contributed by the proprietor. Yes, of course. How much capital invested by the proprietor in the business, owner in the business, that also what, capital receipts. Money obtained from the issue of shares or debentures in case of companies. That and all we will study later. You will not understand anything if I explain also now. Big companies, they have the option to issue shares to the public. Means they have the option to collect capital from the public. Single owner business, who will invest money, he only invest money. But for companies, they have the option to issue shares to the public, means to the general society public. Okay, so those who interested to invest in the companies, they can invest their money. Suppose I want 100 shares of rupees 10 each, I can send 1000 rupees to the company. So I am the shareholder of 100 shares, and 1000 rupee I send to the company. So when later the company, or I don't want to continue as a company shareholder, or I want to sell that share when share price, now the share price become 50, so I purchased for 10 rupee, now the share price become 50, means I can earn income no to through that. So that 100 shares into 50 I'll sell and I'll make money. Understood? So that is the way share market is dealing with Bombay Stock Exchange and all that, and all we will study later. Okay, that also through that way, if company collect money from the public, that also capital receipt. Then amount received by way of loans, if a business is taking loan from the bank, that also we cannot say it is business income, it is not a business income at all. So you can say like this, whatever is not considered as business income, that we can include in what? Capital receipts. And one more thing, capital receipts is not happening every day, or it is not regular in the business. Sometimes it happens, we will not take loan every day, we will not invest money every day, we will not sell asset every day. Understood? So everyday activity is what? Purchase and sale of goods. Purchase and sale of goods in business studies also we studied. So whenever we are doing purchasing, selling, purchasing, selling, so this activity only the regular activity. Okay, so other than the regular activity, whatever income or the money is coming into the business, we can call it as what? Capital receipts. Now second category is revenue receipts. So revenue receipts means the other part from your regular business activity. Suppose you are a vegetable shop owner, so you are selling, purchasing vegetable, selling vegetable, next day again purchasing, selling, purchasing, selling, this activity you are doing continuously, regularly. So from this whatever you are earning, that is called what? Revenue receipts. Understood? No, money obtained, these are revenue earned from the normal course of business. What do you mean by normal course of business? Normally daily, what is our main purpose, that is called what? Normal course of business. If you go to a chicken shop, you can see chickens are there, they will whatever customers ask, that they will cut and give, again they will purchase. So that stock is always available there. How? Every day they are selling, even then stock available, they are purchasing also. Understood? So they are purchasing for sale. So any shop you can take, their normal activity will be there, one regular activity will be there. So from that what they are earning, that is called what? Revenue receipts. Money obtained from the sale of goods, I told you, that is the main activity of the business. Commission or fees received from the service rendered. If you are a service business, so already we studied what business can be for goods and services. So if you provide goods also, you earn some money, that is revenue receipts. If you provide service also, you earn some money, that is also what? Revenue receipts. Then interest and dividend received on investment. Yes, so if the business has invested some money somewhere, suppose in share market you invested your money, so you will get what? Dividend. If you deposit money in bank, you will get interest. So in that way also we are getting some amount, we are receiving some amount, some receipts are there. Understood? So these are all coming under what category? Revenue receipts. So revenue receipts, we can say revenue receipts are emerging from the normal course of business activity. Understood? But capital receipts are not from normal course of business. It is happening sometimes, and it is related to what? Capital items or non-current assets, long-term assets. Okay, so that is receipts over. Now next term is expenditure. Expenditure, receipts means what? Money is coming in. Expenditure means we know money we spend. When we spend money, that is called what? Expenditure. Any disbursement of cash or transfer of property or incurring a liability for the purpose of acquiring assets, goods and services is called what? Expenditure. So simply we can say, to get anything, you want to purchase asset, you want to purchase motorcycle, you want to purchase a building, you want to purchase a land, whatever, anything you purchase or you spend money on anything, any item that you want in the business, no problem, you are spending it, that in total we call it as what? Expenditure. Okay, But this expenditure also, where you are spending, on the basis of that, we can classify it into mainly three categories. We can classify it. Okay, so where you are spending the money, I told you know, we can spend money on non-current assets, we can spend money on current assets, and some other expenditures also there. So on the basis of that, these expenditures are classified into capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, and deferred revenue expenditure. So I told you receipts are classified into capital receipts and revenue receipts. In the same way, expenditures also classified into capital expenditure, revenue expenditure, but one more third category is there, deferred revenue expenditure. Okay, now what it is we'll discuss. First is capital expenditure. This already I told you. Capital means, understand, capital items, capital receipts means what I told you, whatever money you earn from assets, capital items. So capital expenditure means what? The money you are spending on assets. Any expenditure which is incurred for acquiring or increasing the value of fixed asset is termed as what? Capital expenditure. Suppose one machine is there, one machinery is there, you purchased on 2000, that is one machine, that is a capital expenditure. Again in 2020 another machine you are purchasing, second machine. So this also what? Capital expenditure. So whatever you spend on assets or non-current assets, that is not for sale, use in the business. Understood? No? So this is the main classification of assets, you remember always, because you should know this afterwards. Non-current assets are for use in the business, current assets are for sale, okay, or to convert it into cash. So any expenditure which is incurred in acquiring or increasing the value of fixed assets. If you are spending for acquiring means what? For purchasing or increasing the value of fixed asset, or you want to increase the value of fixed. Suppose you have a film cinema theater, you are the owner of a cinema theater, then you are attaching one more hall to that, then that is an increase in the value of that asset. Correct? No, because you have to spend money for that, then only it will increase, or the space you can expand. So that way when you do something on asset, that is called what? That is called what? Capital expenditure. Okay, so example, amount spent on the purchase or erection of building, plant, furniture. See, all these things are for what we are doing? We are purchasing it for use in the business, not for sale, which yield benefit over a long period of time. So all these items we are purchasing, and from that will the benefit will be getting for a long period of time. Okay, stock, if you purchase, you sell it, get the money, so that is a short period item. You don't want to keep the stocks and all, or the current assets for a long period of time. Immediately you want to convert it into cash. But non current assets are those items you want immediately to convert it into sorry, you want to use it for a long period of time. Which items? Non current assets. Okay, capital expenditure, this only. So capital receipts, capital expenditures are related. So what is capital receipts? If you get anything from assets, non current asset, any receipt, any amount you receive from non current asset, that is capital receipt. Any amount you spend for acquiring non current assets, that is called what? Capital expenditure. Okay, now revenue expenditure. What do you mean by revenue expenditure? The full benefit of which is received during one accounting period is termed as what? Revenue expenditure. So what we can say? Whatever we spend on current assets, or the full benefit from which is received during one accounting year. So you are spending money now, but the benefit also will be getting this year itself. Okay, but for capital expenditure, for example, a machinery you are purchasing this year, that machinery should work for a at least for a 10 years to get the full benefit. Okay, but in revenue expenditure, you are purchasing the stock or something else, and you are keeping with you, and your intention is to convert it into cash, or to sell it for cash and get the money back. Understood? So this is called what? Revenue expenditure. That is why it is saying benefit of which is received during one accounting period. All these nature of expenditures are debited in trading profit and loss account. These all revenue nature items, revenue expenditures, where you have to write in the profit and loss account. That and all we will study later. It will not increase the earning capacity, it only maintain it. So revenue expenditures will not increase the earning capacity. Suppose you are purchasing an asset machine, it will increase your earning capacity. You have one floor building, you want to increase it in two floor, it is increasing your earning capacity. Okay, but revenue receipts or revenue expenditures, whatever money you are spending now, this is spending. No, expenditure means we are spending money. So now you are spending money, but the benefit you will be getting within a short period of time. Okay, so best example, like in our personal life, we can say, suppose I am purchasing a car, that is what expenditure? Capital expenditure. But I am purchasing rice, vegetables, fish and all for my home, then it is what? Revenue expenditure. Understood? So capital expenditure, the car which I purchased for long period use, not for sale. Okay, I will not consume it today itself, or I will not consume it within 1 year. I will not get the benefit within 1 year. Okay, maximum I will use it, then only I will sell that. But whatever other items, dress or daily whatever usable items are there, so many items you can see, that items why I am purchasing for use it. For means I'm not doing business, but just an example in our personal life I am telling. Okay, so just like that. Now another category of expenditure is there, that is deferred revenue expenditure. So deferred revenue expenditure means there are certain expenditures which are revenue in nature, but the benefit of which is likely to derive over a number of years, say 3 to 7 years. Yeah. So this, from the name you can say, this is actually in the family of revenue expenditure. It is the category, it is revenue only, not capital, but it is showing the behavior of capital expenditure also. That is why we put the name deferred revenue expenditure. Deferred revenue means postponed, or in future also the benefit is coming. So it is a revenue expenditure, but the benefit from which, or the benefit from that item will be getting after some years. So what is the condition? I told you capital expenditure means the benefit we will get after even for a long period of time, but revenue expenditure within 1 year will get all the benefit. But as a controversial for that, this rule what they are saying, deferred revenue, you can see some items in business, but you are spending money this year, the whole benefit from that item you will not be getting this year, in the coming years also you will get. So best example is here, a firm spent rupees 2 lakh on advertisement to introduce a new product in the market. So whenever we introduce a new product in the market, we have to advertise. Okay, advertisement provide which hindrance, it remove knowledge. Okay, so we advertised, for that we spend, we means the business spent 2 lakh rupees. It is estimated that the benefit of which will last for 4 years. So advertisement usually, when we make that contract with that company, or the or TV or cinema, whatever magazines and all, so advertisement, we have a contract for 4 years. That means this 2 lakh rupee now you are spending, but the benefit for which you'll be getting throughout these 4 years, you'll be getting not only this year, next year, next year, next year, like that 4 continuous years, your product will be advertised in the TV, on the TV, and will be benefited. Understood? So how much is the total amount paid? 2 lakh, but you are getting the benefit for how many years? 4 years. So for 1 year, what is the benefit then? 2 lakh divided by 4, so 50,000 is the benefit you are getting in 1 year. another 50 next year, second year, another 50,000 third year, another 50,000 in the fourth year. So now 4 years completed, so 50,000 into 4, 2 lakhs completed. So whatever money you are spending now, you are spending a bulk amount now, 2 lakh, but the benefit from which you will be going to get in some continuing years also. That is why some items, like mainly advertisement expenditure only, advertisement expenditure is treated as deferred revenue expenditure. Remember what? Deferred revenue expenditure. When the benefit is postponed in the coming years, that type of revenue expenditures are called what? Deferred revenue expenditure. Okay, so 50,000 is 1 year. This 50,000, suppose first year what we write? 50,000 in the profit and loss account we write, because 50,000 is revenue nature. Already I told you all revenue nature will appear where? In the profit and loss account. All capital items will appear in the balance sheet. Okay, so 50,000 we write in the P&L. Then what about the balance amount? 1,50,000 where you show? Total 2 lakh you spent. 50,000 is for this year, that we can show in the P&L account. The remaining 1,50,000 you will be showing where? In the asset side. See here, in the asset in the balance sheet. Understood? So 50,000 will go to the P&L account, and the remaining 1,50,000 will go to the balance sheet. Okay, now next year, second year, what will do? Again, from 1,50,000 we remove 50,000 in P&L account. So remaining 1 lakh, that 1 lakh will appear in the balance sheet. Okay, so third year, from that 1 lakh we take 50,000 in the P&L, then remaining 50 will be there in the balance sheet. Okay, fourth year, that 50,000, only the remaining 50,000 will take and put in the P&L account. So that year it is over. Means whatever you are spending, you have to show in the P&L account. Whatever you are spending means on revenue items for earning profit, that you have to show in the profit and loss account. Okay, but advertisement is a huge expenditure, and the benefit from which you will be getting in the coming years also. You cannot put all those full amount 2 lakhs in the P&L account of this year. You can put only the benefit of that in this year. 50,000 is assumed. So 50,000, how much? How you got? 2 lakh divided by 4 years. Okay, like that you have to calculate and write. So this is known as what? Deferred revenue expenditure. Now next item is expenses. Okay, so expenditures, receipts over expenditure over now expenses. Expenses is the cost incurred for producing and selling the goods and services. Expenses means what? How much cost involved for producing something, or how much is the total expense you incur for providing a service to the customers. That is called what? Expense. Okay, actually expense is a day-to-day activity word. So cost of goods sold, matlab, now suppose we are making a dress of a particular pattern and design. So to make it into a finished product level, how much money you are spending from your pocket, that is called what? Cost of goods sold. Okay, so cost of goods sold includes what? Purchase price, then direct expenses. All those expenses you have to add, then only you can calculate the cost of goods sold. Means till selling point, how much you spend on that particular product, that is called the cost of goods sold. Then what we can say? Amount paid rent. If you are taking building, if you don't have your own building, you have to take building for rent, so that for the rent you paid, commission you paid, salary paid, whatever other expenses you paid, that is called what? Expenses. So now we can say, why, what is difference expenditure and expense? Expenditures usually we use for large amount of items, or huge amount of items, and it is related to non-current assets. Okay, but revenue, whatever we told as revenue expenditure, that only expense. Okay, capital expenditure is expenditure. Revenue expenditure is otherwise known as expense. Means for day-to-day activity, whatever we are spending, that is called expense. Okay. Now next one is income. Income is different from revenue. Income and revenue is not same. Amount received from the sale of goods is called what? Revenue. So when you sell some amount you are getting, that is called what? Revenue. And the cost of goods sold is called what? Expense. Okay. Suppose to simple one, to you are selling lemon juice. So to make 1 glass lemon juice, you are spending 10 rupees. This is called what? Cost of goods sold. Okay, cost of goods sold. So you are selling it for 15 rupees. Then this is what? Selling price. Okay. Then what is the profit? 15 minus 10. Simple. 5 rupees the profit. So for each glass you are charging how much? 5 rupees. So suppose you sold 100 glass per day. So 100 into 5. So in a day how much profit you are earning? 500 rupee you are earning. Understood? That only. So here income and revenue are not same. Revenue is the selling price. Here we can say 15 is the selling price revenue and 10 rupees the cost of goods sold. You have to bring lemon, you have to bring salt, you have to bring sugar, you have to bring water. For all these items you have to spend money. So whatever you are spending on each glass, for each glass you are charging 5 rupee extra. So that is the selling price, that is the revenue. Now income is what? Difference between these sales and selling price and cost of goods sold. Okay, so revenue income we can calculate revenue minus expense. Revenue in this example it is 15, expense is 10. So our income is 5 per glass. Okay, clear no? So any item you can imagine, any product you can imagine, to produce that particular product how much you have to spend, what are the raw material. Even you can imagine about the big companies, other products also you can think about that how much would be the cost of goods sold and why they are selling it for this much price. Okay, so we can any what creams and all, or toothpaste, soaps, notebooks, you can check all these things, what is the price charged by the seller or the manufacturer. So you have to think they must just spend some amount less than this, that's why they are charging this much amount. Okay, so always they sell for a profit only, that is called business. Now profit we understood. Profit, it is the excess of total revenue over total expense. So total profit means what? So in a day, suppose I told you, no, suppose he is selling 100 glass of juice, so 100 into 5, so 500 is 2 days profit. So tomorrow again 500, so like that 500 into for 30 days. So how much will get? 15,000 rupees he earns in a month. So that is his profit, monthly profit. So per year how much profit? 15,000 into 12, multiply by 12. So that will be his profit. Okay, so in this way they can calculate the profit or loss. Understood? So that time only, so yearly calculation of profit or monthly calculation of profit. Okay, so that is profit. Now gain, what do you mean by gain? Profit or any advantage resulting from events which is incidental to business. Yes, gain means it's not everyday happening. Gain is incidental to business. Sometimes, example, sale of fixed asset, it is not a regular activity of business. After some 10 years something is old that we are selling and we are getting some amount, that is gain. Winning a court case, we have a case and we won the case. Okay, somebody filed a case against this business and we won the case, then that is a gain. appreciation in the value of fixed asset. So land, building and all, usually the value will appreciate. So appreciate, depreciate. Appreciate means when the value increase, it is called what? Appreciate. When the value decrease, it is called what? Depreciate. So usually land and building and all, the value appreciate. But machines, vehicles, that and all, when you sell it, you may not get any gain. Okay, so this is called what? Gain. So gain is profit only, but it is not from your regular course of business. It is incidental to business. Now next is loss. You know loss means what? When total expense is more than total revenue, it is termed as what? Loss. Profit we studied, no? Profit means what? When total revenue is more than expense. Here, when the expense is more than the revenue, then it is called what? Loss. Okay. Suppose from the previous example, lemon juice example, I told you 10 rupees the cost of goods sold, means that person spent 10 rupee. So he will not sell it for 10. More than that only he will. At least he add 1 rupee, 2 rupee profit with this. Okay. But nobody is coming to drink lemon juice. So he thought that what? Okay, today I will sell it for rupees 8. So he put a board outside to attract the customers, and so that some people are coming. So actually now he is selling it at a loss of 2 rupees. Understood? So this loss happen when the selling price is less than the cost of goods sold, or the revenue is less than cost of goods sold. Okay. Or it can be any activity or fact against which a firm receives no benefit. Other activities also we can say, where the firm is not getting receiving any benefit. Okay, something they are doing but they are not getting any benefit, that they also incur loss due to fire, theft, accident. All these things happen, loss in the business, or leads to loss in the business. Okay, then purchases. Okay, the term purchases is used only for the purchase of goods. Remember this very carefully. If you purchase a machine, it is not purchase. You write the name of that machine. But when you purchase goods for sale, then only you will write in business word, we write what? Purchase. So purchase word, wherever you see, you have to think they purchased for sale, or the main item of that business is purchased. Okay, so when they purchase land, they will write land rupees 10 lakh. They will not write purchase. But I am bringing, I'm running a textile shop, so I am bringing clothes from somewhere, Coimbatore, then for rupees 5 lakh, then what I will write? I will not write clothes, I will not write something else name, I will write purchase. This purchase word will be repeating all throughout the business. That shows whatever he purchased for sale. So purchase word we use only for the items which the business is dealing with, and that item is kept for sale. Okay, that is why it is said the term purchase is used only for the purchase of goods. Goods and assets are different. Goods are for sale in the business to earn profit. Assets are for use in the business. Okay, in manufacturing business, goods means acquiring raw material for the purpose of conversion into finished product. Suppose a factory setup business, their goods means what? You are bringing raw material. Suppose sugar factory you have, your raw material will be sugar cane. The sugar cane is, whenever you purchase sugar cane, you call it as purchase. Okay, or if you have pepper industry, then what is raw material? Wood is the raw material. So when you bring that wood, then you call it as purchase. Okay, for factory setup. Suppose you are running a trading shop, supermarket, whatever items you have kept in the that supermarket inside, that you call it as what? Your purchase. Because to remember the items by name, it is very difficult also. So one single word we put, purchase. In trading concern, Goods means things which are purchased for resale. So in manufacturing concern, goods means what? Raw materials. But in trading, manufacturing, trading difference, I think. Manufacturing means where there is production and sale is there. But trading means only purchase and sale is there. No production is there. So purchase return. So what is purchase return? When goods are purchased, return to the supplier is known as purchase return. Suppose I am running a sugarcane factory, some 1 ton sugarcane unloaded today. From that, some 500 kg is damaged. So I am returning it back to the supplier, to the same supplier. Why should I pay for that damaged one? That is called what? Purchase return. Okay, so from total purchase return should be minus. Suppose I purchased for rupees 10 lakh, I returned rupees, the value of the item is 1 lakh. So from 10 lakh, 1 lakh will be deducted. So my actual purchase become 9 lakhs. Okay, this is purchases. Now next is sales. So what do you mean by sale? Sale. Sale means transfer of ownership of goods or services to customers for a price. Yes. Here when sales take place, actually the ownership is transferred from the seller to the buyer. Okay. How it is taking place? For a price. It also includes revenues from services provided to the customers. So any other revenue or income you receive, that also included in sales. Sale can be cash sales or credit sales. Okay, cash sales means you are not selling cash. Don't misunderstand. Cash sales means what? I'm selling goods and immediately getting the cash from the customer. Credit sales means I'm selling goods but I'm not getting money from the customer. I'm giving him a time period to pay that money, 1 week or 1 month, like that. Here also sales return can be there. So sales return, when I sold goods, that customer is returning back the goods to me, then it is known as what? Sales return. So from total sales, suppose sale is 5 lakhs, sales return is 50,000, then from 5 lakhs 50,000 we have to deduct. So 4 lakh 50,000 is the original sales. Okay, so 16 items over. Now one more class required to complete the basic terms. Okay, so go one by one, read one by one, understand it. If any doubt, please ask. You should get doubt actually. Okay, if you're not getting doubt means you're not understanding anything. I assume like that, because in this 11th class you have to get doubt, then only it is proper education or properly you are studying, that means. Okay, so anyway, we will complete, and you can prepare notes also accordingly. Whatever I have given in that order you write the notes. Okay, so don't worry about the textbook alignment, chapter wise classification and all. That and all you leave. Till 10th class you studied in that way, that's why you are thinking about that so much. Don't worry about that. The way I teach you, that way you study. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Bye.